first base, Bench catching. With Lum in center, Concepcion at short, and Norman pitching. The Reds hope to move to within 2 games of the San Francisco bunch after the two clubs divided the twin bill last night. 7-6 San Francisco in the first game. After building up a 5-0 lead, they had to hold off a late Cincinnati comeback that saw the Reds score 3 times in the 9th inning, 2 of them on a home run by Johnny Bench, but still come up 1 run short. And then the second game evolved into a pitching duel between Bill Bonham and Jim Barr that resulted in a 2-1 Reds win when Mike Lum cranked a 2-run home run off the Giants right-hander in the 5th inning with Dave Concepcion aboard. Of course, Bonham going 6 2/3 to win his 9th game, and some super relief pitching by Doug Baer as the native Ohioan chalked up his 14th save of the season. So, Joe, we had 2 one-run ball games last night. The Reds have played a total of, 33 so far this season, and I guess in that particular aspect of the game, it has been almost unbelievable, the number of close games that we've been involved in.
Well, Marty, I think it's, an interesting statistic, as we've talked before. When you're over the 500 mark in one-run games, then you have to feel things are going in your favor. You think of 22 wins and 22 one-run victories is an awful lot at this stage of the year, but they're very important because it does tell you that we're able to hold on to one-run victories like last night. Doug Baer, an outstanding job, and it's just, to me, a little boost for a ball club when you look in that column and see where you're way ahead in one-run victories. And pitching last night, we certainly had dreams of winning 2, but a split, and we're right where we started last night. So a win this evening would move us up a game, and hopefully a Dodger loss. The Dodgers winning, of course, last night over the Astros. But Freddie has pitched extremely well, and maybe we can get him some runs, something to work with, and he can go on and have a good game tonight. And of course, John Montefusco, he really gets pepped up when he's pitching against the Reds, but we've been successful over his career. As we said, we've beaten him 5 times. He's beaten us 4, so actually the statistics are in our favor. When you think of 3 starts against the Reds, he has no decisions, and we've won all 3 ball games. So things are in our favor, but you still have to swing the bat and throw the ball.
Right now, the umpires are meeting down at home plate for the exchange of lineups. Of course, tonight's game, and tomorrow afternoon's closeout to the series will bring us right up to the All-Star break. The Major League teams will have 3 off days before resuming play next Thursday, and for the Reds, it'll be the New York Mets coming into town, and a ball club that has been having its problems of late, but really not playing that bad a baseball. They've been getting some pretty good pitching. They come up with a shutout this afternoon from young Kevin Coble, a former Milwaukee Brewer. He has blanked the Chicago Cubs 7-0. But, of course, these 2 games vitally important to the Reds. They would like to be able to knock off the Giants tonight and tomorrow afternoon and get to within 1 game of that club with the All-Star break coming up, because this Giants team is going to be on an extended road trip into the Eastern Division before they return to Candlestick Park. So the Reds certainly have an opportunity to close some distance between themselves and the San Francisco club. And as Joe pointed out, we hope for a good effort from Freddie Norman tonight and some offense to make a loser out of John Montefusco, a guy who has not had it easy in his career in the big leagues against his Cincinnati club. We'll be back with Game 3 of the Red San Francisco Giants here at Riverfront Stadium after we pause again for this message.
When your car needs an oil change, chances are what you say is change the oil, which is all you need to say unless you want to make a change for the better, namely, new Ultra D motor oil from Marathon. Marathon's new Ultra D motor oil is a special blend of natural and synthetic ingredients that's really different from conventional blends. A special blend that means better gas mileage for you, more miles per tank full. New Ultra D motor oil was tested by independent laboratories, including road tests in typical city and highway driving, and the results were the same. Improved gas mileage, more miles per tank full. So go ahead, improve your mileage. Get your car's engine together with Marathon's new Ultra D motor oil.
Make a change for the better with new Ultra D.
A change for the better from the people who do it better. Marathon Oil Company.
Right now, the Nostalgia Barbershop Quartet of Phoenix, Arizona will be singing our national anthem.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare along bursting through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Cincinnati Reds Incorporated and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Cincinnati Reds Incorporated is prohibited. The announcers on this broadcast are employed by the Cincinnati Reds Incorporated. Freddie Norman, 8 wins and 5 losses on the year as he makes his 19th start, a .315 earned run average. Freddie has faced the Giants 2 times without a decision, although the Reds have won both games. He allowed 8 hits and 4 runs and 6 in the third inning in a 7-6 win on April 13th, and then gave up 1 hit and 1 unearned run in 6 innings of an April 23rd 2-1 Reds victory out at Candlestick. We well remember that game because despite pitching no-hit baseball, going to the 7th inning, Freddie had unusual control problems that day. Willie McCovey led off the 7th as a pinch hitter and had what proved to be the only base hit that Norman was to give up before being lifted by Sparky Anderson. And we might point out that the Giants starter in each game was the man Freddie is facing tonight, John Montefusco. Norman hoping to break a personal 2-game losing streak. His last victory came over the Cardinals 4-2. And as Joe pointed out, it's been a matter of the Reds not getting any runs for Freddie. He's been shut out twice, 1-0 to the Dodgers on a Garvey home run in L.A. and then 3-0 to Houston. And he's had 1 no-decision game since then. So he's ready to go to work now, and the leadoff batter for the San Francisco Giants, second baseman Rob Andrews. Andrews, Evans, and Clark here in the top of the first inning. Rob batting .237 with 5 RBIs. Last night we saw Vic Harris at second, filling in for Bill Madlock, who suffered a cut mouth requiring 5 stitches to close a wound and some loose teeth in a home plate collision with Dave Roberts out in San Francisco day before yesterday, and as a result, Madlock missing so far all games in this series. Here's Norman with a pitch. Andrews swings and fouls it off, and this game is underway. The Dodgers playing a twin bill in Houston tonight. Bert Hooton and Floyd Bannister, the first game pitchers, and the Dodgers lead 1-0 at the end of 1. While in the second game, it'll be rookie right-hander Bob Welsh against Tom Dixon. Andrews takes the pitch high, and it's a ball and a strike. Rob, a former Houston Astro. Outfield playing him to hit the other way. And Norman with a 1-1 pitch, and that's on inside. 2 balls and a strike. Well, the seasonal series, after the 2 clubs divided a doubleheader last night, the Reds having won 7 out of the 11 games played. Andrews leveling the bat as Norman kicks and deals, and that one is hit up the middle and glove back of second by Concepcion. He threw him out. Nice play, David. That was a soft liner back up the middle. Davey ranged deep behind second to play the ball on the hop and actually turned it into a routine play at first base. So Andrews out 6-3, and here's Darrell Evans, who last night clouded a 2-run home run in the first game off Tom Seaver. As the Giants held on to win at 7-6, Evans is batting .251. That home run was his 8th, and the 2 RBIs give him a total of 38. Left-hander against left-hand batter. The pitch is taken low and away. Ball 1. In the Reds infield, we've got Danny Driessen at first, Joe Morgan at second, Dave Concepcion at shortstop, and Pete Rose at third base. Norman's 1-0 to Evans. That's high, ball 2. In left field, George Foster. Mike Lum is in center, Ken Griffey in right. And Johnny Bench behind the plate. Evans ahead, 2 balls, no strikes, as Jack Clark waits to hit in the on-deck circle. Freddie sending it in, and he's high with a pitch, ball 3, 3-0. Well, Norman needing a strike with this pitch right here to Evans, and he gets it. Breaking ball over for strike 1 call. 3-1. Give Evans a lot of room in left center and also down the left field foul line. That strike 2 call. Darrell had dropped the bat and had taken 3 quick steps to first base when Billy Williams' strike call got him back in there. Full count. Got Dick Stello at first base umpiring, Spanky Freming at second, and Eric Gregg at third. 3-2. And Norman with a payoff pitch to Evans, and this one is hit into right field. There's Griffey, and he'll make the catch. 2 outs. Well, Freddie battling back after getting down 3-0, gets Evans on a fly ball to right on a 3-2 pitch, and here's Jack Clark. The Reds and the Mets will be at Riverfront for a 4-game series after the All-Star break. 8:05 games next Thursday and Friday. 7 o'clock game next Saturday, and a 2:15 game a week from tomorrow. Plenty of seats available. We'll be getting back in the Eastern Division when we come off the All-Star break. Clark batting .311. He grounds 1 to third. Rose has it on the convenient bounce and shoots him down at first base as Danny makes the pickup on the short hop. 3 out, 3 down. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. We played a half inning in this third game, and it's the Giants nothing, and the Reds are coming to bat.
When your car needs an oil change, chances are what you say is change the oil, which is all you need to say unless you want to make a change for the better. Namely, new Ultra D motor oil from Marathon. Marathon's new Ultra D motor oil is a special blend of natural and synthetic ingredients that's really different from conventional blends. A special blend that means improved engine protection for you under all kinds of weather and driving conditions. New Ultra D motor oil has special anti-wear additives that protect the critical parts of your engine longer than conventionally blended multi-grade oils, up to 15,000 miles. Better motor oil means a better running engine every time you drive your car, wherever you drive.
Make a change for the better with new Ultra D.
A change for the better from the people who do it better. Marathon Oil Company.
Well, this big weekend of baseball winds up for Reds fans tomorrow afternoon here at Riverfront. It'll be the Reds and the Giants in a 2:15 game. The Reds ticket department reports that plenty of seats are available for tomorrow's game. For your convenience, the Reds Stadium ticket office opens at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Gates open at 12:15, so come early and take in batting practice. John Montefusco, 7 wins, 3 losses with a somewhat high 374 earned run average. Couple of complete games in his 19 starts this season, and he's faced us 3 times without getting a decision. Reds winning all 3 games, and as Joe mentioned earlier, we've beaten him 5 times in 9 decisions. Well, remember back 3 years ago when this guy came up to the Giants, he was a veritable motor mouth, but it seems as the years go by, John has calmed down a little bit, although from time to time he'll surface with a quote that bears repeating. This ballpark has not been kind to him. He will be trying to give the Giants their second win in the 3 games as he sets the deal now with leadoff batter Pete Rose, who extended his hitting streak through 23 games last night, the longest in the National League this season. Pete batting .298. As Montefusco looks to batter, he made Marc Hill for the sign and delivers. Rose swings and bounces slowly over the mound, charging Andrews. Quick throw to McCovey and got him at first base. High bounder over the mound, but Andrews came quickly in to field and unload to McCovey and retire Pete. 1 away. Ken Griffey is in with his .309 batting average. As we start play tonight, Griff and Rose are tied for the National League lead in base hits, each with 105, and George Foster third in that department. He has had 101. So the Reds have 3 players with 100 or more hits this season. And they're running 1, 2, 3 in the hit parade. Steve Garvey actually tied with Foster with 101, and Enos Cabell of Houston has had an even 100. Montefusco delivers, and Griffey takes it inside and high. Ball 1. Joe Morgan on deck. Now the 1-0 pitch. Low and inside a fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Tomorrow afternoon it's going to be Paul Mosco against Ed Halicki to close out the series. Ground ball hit to the second baseman. Andrews has been in on both of the outs this inning as he throws to McCovey, and very quickly 2 men have been retired. As Joe Morgan comes playward, we'll lay out the Giants defensively for you. McCovey at first, Andrews second, LeMaster at short, Evans at third, Cruz in left field, Herndon in center, Clark in right, and Hill does the catching. Morgan batting .253 with 8 homers and 46 RBIs. No score here in the bottom of the first inning as Montefusco sends in a taken strike, a fastball belt tie. Off-speed pitches inside and low. 1-1 to count. Joe and 5 of his teammates will represent the Cincinnati Reds in the Major League All-Star game Tuesday night in San Diego. Swung on and grounded to third. Evans was playing him wide of the bag, so it was right there and on to first base, and that ends the inning. So Montefusco throws ground balls to Rose, Griffey, and Morgan, and at the end of 1 complete, the Reds nothing, the Giants nothing.
You always waited for the day that you could cool it? Doesn't it seem like all of your friends are cooling it? Have you promised yourself that this is the summer you will cool it? Well, isn't it time you
Cool it the Crawford Nichols way.
Cool it means Crawford Nichols Heating and Cooling wants to cool your home with Westinghouse air conditioning. Cool it means that your family can relax at home during these hot, sticky summer months. Cool it means 24-hour service, 365 days a year. Crawford Nichols works hard to keep you cool. Cool it means an increase in the value of your home. That's right, air conditioning is a wise investment. So join the comfortable crowd this summer and cool it. For a free home cooling estimate, call Crawford Nichols Heating and Cooling today and say cool it.
Now you can cool it with Crawford Nichols, that's the way.
876-1234.
As we move to the top of the second inning, the finals from the major leagues this afternoon in the American League. The Toronto Blue Jays shut out Chicago 3-0. A 3-hitter for Jim Clancy as he bested Chris Knapp. Rick Cerrone hit a Toronto home run. The end of 5 in Oakland, the A's trailing 6-0 at the end of 3. Have scored 7 times in the last 2 innings to go out in front of Minnesota 7-6. Boston in the first of a pair at Cleveland, 6-0 over the Indians at the end of 4. Fisk and Yastrzemski have counted long balls. And in the National League, as we mentioned earlier, the New York Mets shut out Chicago this afternoon, 7-0 as Coble got the victory. Burris took the loss, and Mazzilli hit a home run. In the first of 2 at Philadelphia, the Expos 2, the Phillies won. Woody Fryman against Larry Christensen. Atlanta 2-1 over San Diego. That's the first of a doubleheader. At the end of 3, Rick Camp against Randy Jones, and the Dodgers lead Houston 1-0 at the end of 1 in their first game. Willie McCovey, Freddie Norman. The pitch is high, ball 1 as we kick off the second. Willie hit his 10th home run of the season last night and his first off the Reds this year. 2 balls and no strikes. That was a first-game blast off Tom Seaver, leading off the second inning. McCovey with 50 runs batted in. That's on the outside corner for a called strike. Dave Bristol, the Giant third base coach, talking to him earlier tonight, and he said it's been amazing the way this man has been swinging the bat this season, despite the fact he's hitting only .232. They said he has been getting around on fastballs about as well as he has in his career. 3-1. On deck is Hector Cruz, a left fielder. He'll be followed by Larry Herndon. Well, Norman down to McCovey, 3 balls and 1 strike. Johnny Bench hangs a sign, and Freddie sends it in. That's swung on and pulled foul between the bag and the coaching box at first base. Norman back behind the mound of the rosin bag, now comes back on top. We talk about consistency from this guy. He's allowed 3 or less runs in 14 of his 18 starts this season. He grounds one. McCovey does to Morgan. Joe to his left for the pickup and throws him out. One out in the Giants' second. Here's Cruz. Cruz batting .234. He's hit 4 homers and has driven in 17 runs. Now that batting average is his collective average. Overall, with San Francisco batting .231 with 2 of his 4 homers and 8 of his 17 RBIs. Right-handed batter takes a pitch low, ball 1. Norman has set down the first 4 men to face him. Working now to Cruz, and the pitch is swung on and missed. And Cruz had quite some cut at that pitch as he came out from underneath his batting helmet. A ball and a strike. Beautiful night for baseball in Cincinnati, and another big crowd here at Riverfront. Don't forget the wrap-up comes tomorrow afternoon. Tickets still available, and we'll be getting it underway at the stadium at 2:15. Final game before the 3-day All-Star break. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a foul. The bench is mitt. Cruz staring up the air around the plate, but so far he's just been able to ticket foul as he falls behind at ball 1 and strike 2. Freddie wins this game. He will join Seaver and Bonham as 9-game winners on the Cincinnati pitching staff. Here's a foul back that will drop just below our broadcast booth.
Have to be on the alert.
I was all ready to play that one. I'm going to shock you one night. 5 years now. I've never tried. One night I'm going to find one to my liking, and I'll make the most of it.
It'll be 5 years from now, too.
Pitch is low, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
To be very honest, I don't think there's enough years left for you to try one.
I'm not going to argue about that because it has not happened yet, and who knows. Here's a bouncer off the handle of the bat, foul outside of first. The only thing I ask is when the time comes
That I don't laugh?
No, I'd be wasting air by asking you not to laugh. I'm a constant source of amusement for you to begin with. All I'm saying is when one comes back here that I think I can handle, when I say I got it, I want you to, and I'm going to lay the microphone down. I want you to back off and give me all the room I need.
I'll say you take it.
Okay, fine.
I got you backed up.
All right, fine. 2-2 pitch. High, and Norman is full on Cruz. 3-2.
Think that waste basket's big enough back there?
But last night this booth wasn't big enough for me to get out of the way of it. Here's a payoff pitch, and he walked him. So Freddie was out in front and loses Cruz, and he becomes the first base runner. Batter will be center fielder Larry Herndon. Herndon hitting .288 with 23 RBIs, and he has done quite a job in center field for the Giants so far this season. In the past, that's been a problem position with a lot of people being shuffled in and out of center field, but Larry Herndon has given him some stability defensively out there this season. Norman starts him off with a fastball up and out of the strike zone. Walks at times this season have been a problem for Norman. He's walked 51 and 116 and 2/3 innings prior to this start. And there's a strike at the letters to Herndon. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cruz at first, 1 out. No score. We're in the top of the second. Larry checking down with Dave Bristol before stepping back into the batter's box. Rose, Concepcion, and Morgan a double play depth. Driessen holding on the bag against a runner to pitch. Herndon checks his swing on a screwball away, and it'll be 2 balls and 1 strike. Giants with a record of 51 and 33. The Dodgers in second place, 2.5 back at 48-35, and the Reds have won 48 and lost 36, and we're 3 back. There's a throw to first, and Cruz is back in easily. After that, you've got fourth place San Diego 10 games out of first. Houston 13.5 out, and Atlanta 14.5 games out of first. So right now, a 3-team race in the National League West. Swung on and hit into right field. That's going to fall in front of Griffey for a base hit. Cruz goes to second. He'll hold. And the Giants have him at first and second. And only one man out for the shortstop, Johnnie LeMaster. Well, we saw Roger Metzger in both ends of the twin bill last night, and all he did was have 5 hits on the evening, 3 in the first game, 2 in the second. And they say that with the coming of Metzger over here to the Giants, that it has already made a considerable difference in the play of Johnnie LeMaster, especially at the plate. They say he's been swinging the bat pretty well of late. He's gotten his batting average up to .221. Norman stretches and now steps back off the pitching rubber. Johnny had a home run in the weekend series against the Atlanta Braves, his first of the year. He's driven in 11 runs. So Cruz at second, Herndon at first. Norman with a pitch, and LeMaster swings and fouls it out of play. Hey, you play on this San Francisco club, and playing time is a rule rather than the exception for just about everybody. You look at the lineup that Joe Alabelli has put on the field tonight against a left-hander. And LeMaster didn't start last night. Andrews was not in there. Cruz did not play. Pitch bounces up there, a ball and a strike. Giants threatening with runners at first and second base. LeMaster at the plate. Marc Hill is on deck. He'll be up next. Norman with a stretch. He delivers, and LeMaster takes it high, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Johnnie LeMaster, right-handed batter. Trying to get something across here for the Giants. Norman cannot throw a strike. He falls behind at 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike. With 2 runners already on base and only 1 man has been retired. That was the leadoff batter, McCovey, but Cruz walked after being behind 2 strikes. And Herndon lined a single to right field. LeMaster is on with a walk, and the bases are loaded. So opportunity is staring the Giants smack dab in the face with the bases loaded and 1 out. Johnny Bench has gone out to the mound to talk with Norman. A couple of walks and a base hit have filled him up. Marc Hill batting at .227, 2 homers and 18 RBIs. A fine night last night also, with a single and a double in the first game, an RBI and a couple of hits and a run scored in the second game. Norman delivers. Hill grounds 1 to third. Rose goes to Morgan. Morgan turns it over to Driessen. The ball gets by. 1 run scores. Here comes another one. Johnnie LeMaster really upending Joe Morgan at second base as Joe threw to first to try and get the double play that would end the inning. And the throw went through Driessen with 2 runs scoring, and the Giants take a 2-0 lead. Now we'll pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
Central Ohio. For complete Cincinnati Reds baseball action, keep your dial on FM 100 WRMZ, Columbus, Ohio.
So the Giants get 2 runs across on the overthrow at first base by Morgan. Marc Hill now the lone base runner, and the batter is pitcher John Montefusco. Here's a pitch, swing, and a miss. Strike 1. Check the scoring on that play. I guess they charged an error on the throw and 1 RBI. Here's a bunt foul. Marc Hill credited with a fielder's choice. Throwing error charged to Joe Morgan, and Hill will get 1 run batted in on the play. Swung on, fly ball, left center field. Foster gets there in time to make the catch and end the inning. But for the Giants in the second, they get 2 runs on 1 hit. 1 big error and 1 man left on base. In the middle of the second, the Giants 2 and the Reds nothing.
The time is right, that feeling's coming through. Real beer lovers know only 1 beer will do. Stroh's for the real beer lovers. Stroh's taste like no other. Stroh's for the real beer lover. Everybody knows it's the beer lover's beer. It's family brew for over 200 years. Real beer lovers say they go out of their way for a Stroh's. Stroh's for the real beer lovers. Stroh's taste like no other. Stroh's for the real beer lover. From one beer lover to another Stroh's. Stroh's, the Stroh Brewery Company, Detroit, Michigan.
The Cincinnati Reds 580 gift shop has fun things for Reds fans of all ages. And here are just a few of the Reds souvenirs you'll find at the ball club's official 580 gift shop. The Reds mug set, art prints, jewelry, a golf umbrella, an alarm clock, ladies' scarves, gym shorts, party accessories, a baby bib, even Reds wrapping paper. Stop by on your way to the ball game or anytime you're in the downtown Cincinnati area. That's the Reds 580 gift shop, corner of 6th and Walnut, downtown Cincinnati. Giants leading 2-0 as the Reds bat here in the bottom of the second. It'll be Foster, Driessen, and Johnny Bench. To hit off the count, John Montefusco, who retired the Reds in order in the first inning. Rose and Griffey bouncing out to second, Morgan grounding out to third. This could have very easily been out of the inning, and Johnnie LeMaster credited him with a big play for the Giants because he really came in on Joe Morgan and successfully broke up the double play that would have ended the inning and have kept the Giants off the board. But LeMaster coming in hard on Joe forced a bad throw, and both Cruz and Herndon scored on the play, and that's how the Giants got their runs. Foster hitting .308. 18 home runs. That's second in the National League, 3 less than Philadelphia's Greg Luzinski, who will be a teammate of George in the National League All-Star outfield Tuesday night, along with Dodger center fielder Rick Mundy. Here's a pitch, and Foster swings and hits a high fly ball back into right center field. Clark is on the warning track, and he'll make the catch. George sending Jack Clark 3/4 of the way onto the warning track and right center to bring down his high drive. And Dan Driessen now, the batter with 1 out. One of the big problems that Montefusco has had this season is throwing the home run ball. He's given up 15, far and away the most given up by any San Francisco pitcher. Starts Driessen out with a curve wide of the plate. After his 15 total, you go down to Ed Halicki, who has allowed 8. Vida Blue has given up 7. 2 balls and no strikes. That's low, ball 3, 3-0. Really, the Giants have not given up all that many home runs, a total of only 44 this season. Call strike. Compare that figure with the 57 that Reds pitching has given up. Driessen takes a pitch low, and he's on with a walk, and he becomes the first Cincinnati base runner. Johnny Bench really shot one out of here in the 9th inning of Game 1 last night. 2-run home run off Randy Moffett, his 11th of the year. John has knocked in 30 runs and carries a .228 batting average. So Driessen is on with a 1-out walk after a long fly ball off the bat of George Foster that was caught by Clark. Montefusco quick throwing to McCovey, but Driessen back on the bag. Here's a pitch to Bench. John takes it outside. Mike Lum will be up next. Pitch. And he got around on a pitch down and in as the count dropped down a bit on him. 1-1. Outfield deep and shading Bench toward left. Driessen a short lead at first base as Montefusco turns and throws that way still again. Look and a pitch. Slow curve is over. Call strike. Well, Johnny Bench behind at a ball, 2 strikes. There's another throw to first baseman Willie McCovey. Of course, the Giants being in the position they're in and having to come in and face the Reds in 4 games like this, certainly you want to win them all if you can, but at the least split 4 games down the middle. High 2 balls and 2 strikes. That way you leave town no worse off than you were when the series started. Of course, the Reds would like to win the next 2 ball games and get to within 1 game. Right now, the Giants lead us by 3. 2-2, the count on Bench. John swings and pulls it to deep left field, but just a bit too much out in front of it. That baby hit the facing of the yellow seats. Foul in left field. You can bet John Montefusco will think twice about throwing that pitch again. Keep it even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Driessen back at first. Bench waiting as the pitch comes plateward and chops it foul off the end of the bat. The count working him away, and Johnny just tapping it foul onto third base coach Alex Kramus. We're talking about 1-run games, the fact that the Reds have played 36 this season. This Giant team has played 41-run games. Swinging a foul back. They have won 24 and lost 16. And they feel like being involved in close games as they have all season long is going to stand them in good stead come the final month or so of the season, if this Western Division race is still up for grabs among the 3 teams. Check swing, foul ball. People ask the inevitable question when a club jumps out of nowhere to the top of the heap, and with a number of youngsters on a team, can they withstand the pressure late in the season? Bench fouls another one off, and they feel like they can. Now, Johnny Bench fouling off the strike pitches thrown by John Montefusco on a holding 2-ball, 2-strike count. In terms of that question, can they withstand the pressure? Well, only time will tell. We've got a lot of baseball remaining between now and the 2nd of October when we ring down the curtain on regular season play. 1 out, 1 on, 2-2 pitch again. Bench takes it high. Reds down 2-0 here in the home second. Quite a 1-on-1 confrontation involving Montefusco and Bench as the count looks over to the on-deck circle where Mike Lum stands waiting. See what Driessen's going to be doing now. Danny breaks, 3-2 pitch, swung on, grounded foul, and that scatters him in the Giants' dugout as it goes in and comes back out. And playing the ball is third base umpire Eric Gregg. Johnny asking for the rosin bag from Lum. Think back 3 years ago, Bench had a mammoth home run here against Montefusco. Again, ready with a payoff pitch. Driessen running, swung on and missed. Throw down to second base, not in time. Johnny Bench fouled it into the glove of Marc Hill. That's the count's first strikeout, and Danny Driessen notches his 20th stolen base in 25 attempts. 2 away for Mike Lum. Mike pounded his 4th home run of the year last night in the 5th inning of our second game off right-hander Jim Barr with Dave Concepcion aboard. That 2-run homer stood up as the Reds won it 2-1. Lum batting .296. He swings and hits one into left center field. There's Cruz, and he makes the grab to end the inning. For the Reds in the second, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. And after 2 complete, the Giants lead the Reds 2-0.
When you want to know the ones you love and the things you love will always be secure. Make friends with tomorrow. Range Insurance, to be sure.
Business owners and managers need the protection offered by Grange Commercial Custom Coverage. Business interruption insurance is just one dramatic way Grange covers you when you're open and also covers you when you're closed. Your Grange agent will explain to you the other special multi-peril features provided by Commercial Custom Coverage. It puts dozens of risks under one premium and eliminates overlapping coverage. Call your Grange agent today. Look in the yellow pages.
There's nothing like the feeling that you get when you know you're safe now and secure. Protected by Grange Mutual, Grange Insurance, to be sure.
Giants will be coming with the top of the order here in the 3rd inning with Rob Andrews to stand in for the 2nd time tonight. And here to call the play-by-play for you, Joe Nuxall.
Thank you, Marty. Andrews, Evans, and Clark in the 3rd for the Giants. Andrews in the 1st inning, leading off the game, grounded to Concepcion behind the bag at 2nd. Dave throwing him out. Andrews, a .237 batting average with 5 RBIs, 3 doubles, and 2 triples. Giants scoring 2 times in the 2nd. They lead it 2-0. 1 out. The Giants loaded the bases, and then Marc Hill hit a ground ball to Pete Rose at 3rd, and it looked like a sure double play, but Johnnie LeMaster really upended Joe Morgan at 2nd, causing the wild throw and the 2 runs. Pitch to Andrews on the inside corner, a called strike. After 3 innings at Houston in the first game of the doubleheader, the Dodgers leading 4-0. Arman the 0-1. Andrews swings and pops it into right field. Ken Griffey, almost in his tracks, has it. 1 out. That brings Darrell Evans to the plate. Evans a fly ball to Griffey in right in the 1st inning. Darrell, in last night's doubleheader, the first game, he hit 5th in the lineup. The 2nd game, cleanup, and now tonight he's hitting in the 2nd position. Evans takes outside a ball. Reds and the Giants in their 12th meeting of the year. Pitch swung on, chopped foul over the Cincinnati dugout. 1-1 the count. Reds have won 7, the Giants 4. Arman down behind the mound, out of the rosin bag. He's 1-1 with Darrell Evans. 1 out, the base is empty. And the 1-1 pitch, taken outside. Breaking ball, 2-1. Jack Clark on deck. Ready, winds and delivers, and that's bounced to Danny Driessen at first. Dan waves Norman away. He'll take it himself. 2 out. Wolf, 2 out. 2 away, and Jack Clark, the batter. Clark grounded to Rose to end the 1st inning. Jack hitting .311. 15 home runs, 61 RBIs. Right-handed batter, Jack Clark. Norman winds and delivers, and Clark slings and misses. Breaking pitch down low. Throughout, the base is empty. Willie McCovey on deck. Giants leading 2-0. Norman back to the plate. Screwball swung on. Ground ball rolls off to his left, has it. And his long throw to Driessen, and that's the inning. Giants out in order here in the third, and at the middle of inning number 3, it's San Francisco 2, Cincinnati 0.
Well, we loaded up the dogs in the pickup truck, heading out hunting and hoping for luck, raring to go where the country's good as new. We'd hunt for a spell and then settle down, take it easy and gather round, pass a red fox chewing tobacco and have a chew. Later on, when we's all done in, we build a fire, let the story spin, open up another pouch and add another chew. Red Fox is mild, and like I say, a taste that fresh tastes good all day. Like a Tennessee hound, Red Fox won't let you down. Why don't you try Red Fox? Look for it in the white pouch with the picture of Old Red taking it easy. Red Fox chewing tobacco. Now it's better than ever. One day real soon, between me and you, I'm heading back to the fields with my Red Fox chew, 'cause mister, taking it easy never tasted so good. Red Fox.
Bottom half the third, the Reds will send up Dave Concepcion, Freddie Norman, and Pete Rose. Concepcion hitting .297, a couple of home runs, 34 RBIs. Dave has had 19 doubles and 2 triples. Reds with one base runner through the first 2 innings. That Danny Driessen, who walked in the second inning with 1 out, stole second, but left there has been struck out, and Mike Lum a fly ball to left field. Montefusco 7-3 on the year with a .374 earned run average. Herndon in center, shaded a bit toward right. The pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. Montefusco delivers. Strike called. Fastball. 1-1. Down back to the plate. Swung on. Fly ball into left field. Cruz waiting on it. Moving toward the line a few steps, and he has it for out number 1. That brings Freddie Norman to the plate. Fred hitting .184. He's had 7 hits this year, and 38 times up has driven in 3 runs. Montefusco delivers. Norman takes on the inside corner, called strike. The 0-1. Ball low. 1-1 the count. And the count's 1-1 offering. It swung on, looped into left field, and Cruz will be there to make the play. Cruz playing Norman shallow and makes the easy catch for out number 2, and Pete Rose steps in. Pete out on a chopper over the mound to Rob Andrews. Close play at first in the first inning. Or Pete with a 23-game hitting streak. His high is 25. The club record is 27. First pitch is in the dirt to Rose, a ball. Record is held by Eddie Rouse, who did it in 1920 and 24, and Beta Penson in 1965. The 1-0. Rose looks at it, ball 2. Longest streak in the American League this season is Jim Sundberg. Montefusco drops the ball, and it rolls in toward home plate, and Count picks it up. Just to say, here, Pete, hit it from here. 2-0 the count. And the pitch. Swung on, fouled out of play to the left side. Down goes 2 balls, 1 strike to Rhodes. 2 out, bases empty. 2-1 delivery. Swung on, bounced right back to Montefusco. He has it, goes on to McCovey, and that's the inning. Reds out in order, and after 3, Giants 2, Reds nothing.
Detroit, Michigan.
In the 4th inning, the Giants will send up Willie McCovey to lead it off, followed by Hector Cruz and Larry Herndon. McCovey in the 2nd inning bounced to Joe Morgan at second base on a 3-2 pitch. Freddie Norman has walked to the Giants with 1 hit and the 2 runs, one of them an earned run. Big Stretch steps in, hitting .232 with 10 home runs and 50 RBIs. Norman has the sign for bench, and his first pitch on the way to McCovey. Down low ball. One and 0 to count. Norman delivers, and McCovey takes slider outside. 2 balls, no strikes. A wide the pitch, swung on, hard ground ball. Driessen has it at first, and he'll take it himself. 1 away. 1 down. Hector Cruz steps in. Cruz walked in the 2nd inning, scored the first Giant run. Cruz walked, Herndon a single, and a walk to LeMaster to load the bases with 1 out, and then the ground ball off the bat of Marc Hill that looked like a double play, but LeMaster saved it, and thus the 2 runs. First pitch to Cruz outside a ball. Cruz hitting .234 with 4 home runs, 17 RBIs. Slings, line drive, right field, a base hit. Ken Griffey plays it back to the infield. Hit number 2 for San Francisco, and Larry Herndon the batter. Herndon singled, as we said, to right in the 2nd inning. Larry hitting .288, 23 RBIs. He's had 10 doubles and 8 triples. So with 8 triples, that would tell you that Herndon can pick him up and set him down pretty good. Norman delivers to Herndon, and a fastball is high. Reds and the Giants wind up the 4-game series tomorrow afternoon. A 1-0 delivery. Herndon tries to bunt third base side. That'll be a base hit. Pete Rose playing back, and he just picks the ball up and gives it back to Norman. So Herndon has his 2nd hit of the game, a bunt third base side, and 2 are on now. 3rd hit in the game for the Giants, and the batter is Johnnie LeMaster. LeMaster walked in the 2nd inning. He's hitting .221 with a home run and 11 RBIs. Marc Hill, the on-deck batter. Armin delivers. LeMaster swings and pops it up. Danny Driessen will play it in foul territory along the first baseline, and they're going to call it a fair ball. But Danny has it 2 away, and Hill steps in. LeMaster pops to Driessen in foul territory along the first baseline. Marc Hill hitting .227. He's had a couple of home runs and has now driven in 19 runs. He got credit for an RBI in the second inning. Armin delivers to Hill, and the screwball is over for a called strike. Tomorrow afternoon, Ed Halicki, a right-hander for the Giants, and Paul Mosco, or Tommy Hume, rather, for the Reds. Swinging a foul by Hill, and the count goes 0-2. It will be Paul Mosco tomorrow afternoon. Hill takes just low from Norman. A ball, 1-2. Ready, checks in with Bench. Cruz at second. Herndon at first with 2 out. Now Hill backs away from the plate as Freddie takes a little too long in getting the sign from Bench. Mark back in, and Norman back onto the pitching river. The stretch. And the 1-2. Swung on, that's fouled. Over into the Giant booth and out. Giants broadcasters, Lon Simmons. Out holding in a ball, 2 strikes to Marc Hill. The pitch down low with a screwball. Count even, 2-2. Mike Lum shading Hill a bit to the right in center field. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, that's popped foul. Behind the Reds dugout, out of play. Count holds at 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Giant catcher. Cruz, second base, Herndon first. Armin to the belt. And again the 2-2. Missing outside with a fastball. Full count. With 2 out, Cruz and Herndon will be on the move. Armin ready, the payoff. Screwball, that's outside, ball 4. Third walk issued by Fred Norman, and the Giants have the bases loaded for pitcher John Montefusco. Montefusco ended the second inning with a fly ball to Foster in left field. Montefusco has had 3 hits and 41 times up this year. Norman delivers, and he's high with a fastball. Freddie all over the place here tonight. He's walked 3, and he's been behind on several batters. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. Fastball, 1-1. Giants leading 2-0. Have the bases loaded with 2 out here in the 4th inning, and a count of a ball, a strike to Montefusco. The pitch. Slider is low and inside. 2 balls to strike. On the way. Swung on, that's foul. Back and out of play, and the count evens 2-2. And I think the count a little sorry he swung at that one. That could have been a bit high. Out even at 2-2. The pitch. That's in the dirt. Full count. No place to put the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. With 2 out, the runners will be running. Let's see if Freddie works from the windup, and looks like he will do that. And here comes the payoff. Swung out and missed. Got him with a breaking ball. Big strikeout. First for Norman, and that's the inning for the Giants. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 3 runners left on base, and at the middle of the 4th here at Riverfront, Giants 2, Reds nothing.
I know a friend when I see one, and I know a good thing when I get it. I know where to go when I need a helping hand. That's why I've got a friend who's a marathon man.
Friends can add a lot to your life. That's why when you're taking care of something important like your car, it's good to do business with somebody you know by his first name. Somebody who takes you and your car personally and treats it like it was his own. Somebody you ought to know. Your Marathon Man.
Go get together with a friend who's doing best. Go see your Marathon Man.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better. And we do.
Before the Reds bat in the bottom half of the 4th, we'll pause for station identification. This is the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
For Cincinnati Reds baseball in the capital city, listeners tune in FM 100, WRMZ, Columbus, Ohio, for every Cincinnati Reds baseball game.
Reds trail the Giants 2-0 as they bat in the 4th inning. It'll be Griffey, Morgan, and Foster, and more we hope. Well, we'd like to wish a belated happy birthday to our good friend Margaret Robish, Indianapolis, enjoying the game tonight. So celebrate Margaret's birthday late. Us get about 4 runs here in the inning. All right, Mr. Wagner? Shaking your head, yes? All right, Ken Griffey to lead it off. Ken, in the 1st inning, bounced to Andrews at second base. Montefusco has not allowed a hit as yet. And Griffey swings and sends one into right field, shallow, coming on Clark, and he has it 1 away. 1 down, and Joe Morgan, the batter. Joe grounded to Darrell Evans at 3rd to end the 1st inning. Joe Morgan's next home run will be the 200th of his career. A pitch to him, swung on and line to Andrews off to his left. So 2 pitches, 2 out for the Reds here in the inning. Ball not really stung, but Andrews moving off to his left to pick it off. With 2 away, George Foster, the batter. George will fly a ball to Jack Clark in deep right center field. Leading off the 2nd inning, Clark taking it in about a step from the fence. George with 18 home runs and 62 RBIs. Two away, the base is empty, and waiting on Foster to step in. He's there, and the count has the sign and delivers. Breaking pitches outside, ball 1. Back to the plate, swung on, and that's popped foul behind the plate. Marc Hill will have a play, and he has it. And that's the inning, and Montefusco made just 4 pitches to retire the Reds. Nothing across, and after 4, Giants 2, Reds nothing.
Imagine this. You're standing in front of a house built from only new sash windows and 1 new sash door. Now let's go inside and experience new sash quiet. The new Sash Quiet came from the perfect custom fit and the exclusive thermopane with its half-inch dead air space. Reducing outside noise is only part of the new Sash story, eliminating the draft, the freezing winter wind, or the boiling summer air. The outside stays out because of the perfect new Sash fit. For you, this means lower fuel bills, up to 30% lower. It makes dollars and cents to replace your worn-out windows and replace them with new Sash, the original replacement window. For more information, call New Sash Collect, 267-8396. Your new Sash windows also tilt in for easy cleaning and for enjoying the fresh spring and fall air. Ah.
Four inning totals show the Giants 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. The Reds no runs, no hits. They have committed an error. It'll be Rob Andrews to lead it off in the 5th inning, and back with the action, Marty Brenneman.
Thank you, Joe. Andrews is 0 for 2 in batting off Freddie Norman tonight. Norman bounced him to Concepcion in the 1st inning and flied him out to Griffey to right field in the 3rd. 3 hits total in this ball game. They have really been at a premium through the first 4. Giants own all of them. Andrews batting .237, settling in to get the 5th inning underway, and the pitch is swung on and fouled off the right field side. That'll be back into the seats down around the Cincinnati bullpen. Norman rocks to the windup, and the strike one pitch is high to Andrews for a 1-1 count. The Phillies and the Expos have played 6.5 innings at Veterans Stadium in the first of their doubleheader. Philadelphia scores 5 times in the 6th inning. Here's a swing and a line drive into right center, but Griffey's there and makes the basket catch belt high. Andrews out for the 3rd time, and in now is third baseman Darrell Evans. Phillies lead in that game by a score of 6-3. Bake McBride in that 5-run 6th inning clubbed a grand slam home run for the Phillies. And Gary Carter has hit one out in the 7th inning, his 8th of the year, solo shot for the 3rd Expos run. Evans tonight has flied to right. He's bounced out to Danny Driessen. He swings and he misses. Strike one. Atlanta leading San Diego 5-4. Rookie third baseman Bob Horner has hit his 4th homer of the year with a man out in the 5th inning off Randy Jones. Inside as Evans backs out of the box. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pittsburgh and St. Louis not yet underway. That'll be Bert Blyleven against Pete Falcone. Swung on and a big hopper to Morgan at second. He pitches on to Driessen to retire Evans. 2 out. I'd like to send along our best tonight to Reds fans listening on WHFD in Archbold, Ohio, WHBU in Anderson, Indiana, WBRT in Bardstown, Kentucky, and WGAT in Kingsport, Gate City, Virginia. 2 out, Giants 5th inning. Nothing going on for the San Francisco club. Here's Jack Clark, twice up. Both times he's grounded out to Rose at 3rd. Pitch is below the knees for ball 1. Clark hit in both ends of the doubleheader last night to extend his hitting streak to 10 straight. He swings at a pitch up. Foul ball into Bench's mitt. And in those 10 games, he has been on quite a tear. 6 home runs, 13 RBIs. Trails league leader George Foster by but 1 run batted in. Foster was 62 and Clark was 61. Here's a 1-hopper. Davey in the hole at shortstop. Long throw, and the big stretch by Danny Driessen completes the out of Jackie Clark. Norman has retired the side in order. That's the 3rd time in 5 innings he's done it tonight. And after 4.5 innings, the Giants lead the Reds 2-0.
The time is right, that feeling's coming through. Real deal lovers know only one deal will do. Rose, for the real deal lover, Rose, tastes like no other. Rose for the real deal lover. Everyone knows it's the real lover's beer. Family brew for over 200 years. Real deal lovers, baby, go out of their way for sure. to another stroll.
The Stroh Brewery Company, Detroit, Michigan.
Well, the Reds' annual salute to the agriculture industry is set next Saturday night, and we'd like to remind fans to be at Riverfront early and take in all the pregame fun and festivities. The Reds and Mets players will compete in a cow milking contest, a blindfolded wheelbarrow race, and an egg throw. The pregame fun gets underway at 6:30, and then after the game, more than $25,000 in prizes will be awarded to lucky fans. Don't miss out. That's the Reds and the Mets next Saturday evening on Farmers Night. Here's Danny Driessen to begin the fifth inning for the Reds as the count bounces a curveball up there. I want to remind you about Farmers Night. If you can't attend in person, send a postcard with your name and address to be received before next Saturday's drawing to Farmers Night, Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati. Driessen fouls off the 1-0 pitch. The Reds still looking for base hit number 1 against John Montefusco. Here's a bouncing ball headed towards center field, and there it is. Danny Driessen grounds one into center for the first Cincinnati hit, and maybe that'll get us going here. Here's Johnny Bench. He struck out swinging in the second, and that represents the only punch out that Montefusco has had. John really had a rip at a couple of pitches, but finally worked the count to 3-2, and with Driessen running, Danny got the steal, but Montefusco got the strikeout. Well, this man with one swing of the bat can tie this baby up. Montefusco throwing to McCovey. Now the pitch to the plate, and Bench takes a curve low. Giants announced today they have purchased a contract of catcher Dennis Littlejohn from their Pacific Coast League club at Phoenix, Arizona. And that move was made because of the fact that here goes Driessen, and the pitch is swung on and hit into left center field. Danny, they try to decoy him. Back is LeMaster to make the catch, and Driessen able to recover in time and get on back into first base. The Bench is out on a pop to the shortstop, bringing Mike Lum to the plate. Littlejohn was called up because Giant catcher Mike Sadek was placed today in Christ Hospital here in Cincinnati with a viral infection. Mike, if you're listening to us, we hope that you're feeling a whole lot better, and we'll be out of there very soon, and we'll be able to get back in uniform. Mike Lum with Driessen at first, as Montefusco misses outside with a fastball. Giants leading 2-0. Driessen single to begin the inning. Bench has popped up. Here's a hard throw to first again. Lum in the second inning hit a ball well, but Hector Cruz caught the ball in left center. Swung on a dribbler up the middle, fielded by LeMaster. He boots it, recovers, and gains a force out on Driessen. Johnny actually fielded that ball on the first base side of second. Momentarily lost it, but was able to pick it up and step on the bag to get the force out. So with 2 down, and Mike Lum, the new runner at first base. Here's Dave Concepcion. He flied out to left field, leading off the third inning. Now Montefusco walking in toward the plate to get a new baseball from plate umpire Billy Williams. Talking earlier about this extended road trip for the Giants. They will, of course, be flying back home tomorrow because of the 3-day All-Star break, but then will be going right back out on the road Wednesday when they fly to Pittsburgh. Davey swings and hits one into left field. Straight away, there's Cruz waiting in a couple of steps and makes a catch to end the inning. For the Reds in the fifth, no runs, their first hit of the evening. No errors and a man left on base, and after 5 complete, San Francisco 2 and Cincinnati nothing.
Here's some straight talk from Heathkit Electronics at 2500 Morse Road. Heathkit is the largest manufacturer of electronic kits, not toys, but high-quality units that compare with the finest made. Heathkit features a full line of audio components, the finest television to be found anywhere, full line of amateur radio equipment, test equipment and instrumentation for the service, bench, and lab, PA systems, instrument amplifiers, and speaker systems, and automobile accessories from digital clocks to service test equipment. And for the boating buff, Heathkit carries radio telephones, fish spotters, direction finders, and depth sounders. Heathkit at 2500 Morse Road. Opens Tuesday through Saturday at 9:30. Call 475-7200 and order your free catalog. Tell them WRMZ sent you. That's 475-7200. Heathkit.
After 5, Giants lead the Reds 2-0 as we move on to the 6th inning. We were talking a moment ago about Farmers Night coming up next Saturday and the fact that more than $25,000 in prizes will be awarded. To give you some idea, here are the prizes that will be given away after that game. 2 Ford pickup trucks, an International Harvester tractor worth over $10,000, $500 worth of Landmark feed or fertilizer, an Admiral chest-type freezer, 2 sides of beef from Ohio and Indiana cattlemen, 2 30-gallon drums of Amibin soybean herbicide, sheepskin coat valued at $250 from the Mid-State Wool Growers Association, DeKalb XL 72B seed corn to plant 40 acres, Uniroyal tires for the farm truck or family car, a pigskin coat and a 230-pound hog from Ohio Pork Council, and a 7-piece patio set from Early and Daniels. So quite an array of prizes to be given away, and that is Farmers Night next Saturday night as the Reds take on the New York Mets here at Riverfront. Willie McCovey for openers as we move to the 6th inning. Freddie Norman and company on the short end of a 2-0 count. McCovey takes a screwball outside. Norman has bounced him out twice, once to Morgan, once to Driessen. That's a fastball over, and it's strike one call, 1-1. Swing and a miss. Big stretch trying to play long ball as Norman got the fastball up, but Freddie threw it by him. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Norman has struck out only 1 batter, and that is somewhat of a departure from what he normally accomplishes on the mound on a given start. He strikes out McCovey on a nothing-away fastball. One away in the Giants' 6th inning for left fielder Hector Cruz. Been on twice with a walk. He scored a run and then singled to right back in the 4th inning. Cruz takes a pitch inside. Former Cardinal, former Chicago Cub Cruz, and the brother of Houston right fielder Jose Cruz. Here's a fly ball off the right field side. That'll be out of play. 1-1. And we'd like to send along happy 27th birthday wishes tonight to Linda Eilerman, who works as an usher caller at Gate 13. Linda and Kathy Noonan, certainly 2 of our favorites here at the stadium. And Linda, we hope you have a nice 27th birthday. Hope you don't get upset over the fact that we named the number. Here's a swing and a miss by Cruz. 1-2. Freddie Norman pitching well tonight with the exception of that problem inning for him back in the 2nd. Gave up a walk to Cruz, a hit to Herndon. He walked LeMaster. Hill hit the ground ball to 3rd that looked to be a double play to end the inning. Here's a grounder pull foul at 3rd, but in gaining the force out at 2nd on LeMaster, Johnny upended Morgan, causing a bad throw that got through Driessen, and Cruz and Herndon came in to score what have been the only 2 runs across the plate up to this point. Ready with the next pitch, and chasing one out away from him. Cruz hits one into left center. Mike Lum is there, pounds a glove, and makes a one-handed grab. 2 out. Of the 3 San Francisco hits in the game, Herndon has had 2 of them. A single to right in the 2nd, a bunt single, 3rd base side in the 4th. Jumping his batting average up some 5 points to 293. Strike is called. Norman trying to retire his 7th batter in a row, but misses below the knees with this pitch. Swung on and a high chop to third. There's Pete. He fires to first in time. In the inning for the Giants, they're out 1-2-3. Norman is now set down 7 straight. But after 5.5 innings of play, it's still the Giants 2 and the Reds nothing.
Cool it when the sun's up high. Cool it when the sun's down low.
Everyone loves that warm, wonderful summer sun. Kind of makes you think of baseball, swimming, tennis, and air conditioning. That's right. 'Tis the season to be cool. And Crawford Nichols Heating and Cooling wants to cool it for you this summer with Westinghouse Air Conditioning. Dad knows that air conditioning adds to the value of your home. But more important, it allows the entire family to cool off during these hot, sticky summer months. The Cool It experts at Crawford Nichols work hard to keep you comfortable by offering Central Ohioans 24-hour service 365 days a year. So enjoy the sun and fun that goes with summer, but be cool. For a free home cooling estimate, call Crawford Nichols Heating and Cooling today and say cool it.
Now you can cool it with Crawford Nichols, that's the way.
876-1234.
A lot of great baseball is coming up here at Riverfront after the All-Star break. As we mentioned earlier, the Mets will be in town next weekend, and then it's the Expos for 2 weeknight games. The Phillies come to town for a big 4-game weekend series in late July, while in August, we'll get a look at the Padres, the Braves, the Cardinals, the Cubs, and the Pirates. Order your tickets by mail. Just check out the Red schedule and pick out the date you want to see. Box seats are $5, reserved seats $4. Make check payable to Cincinnati Reds, Box 1970 Cincinnati. Please include 50 cents with each order for postage and handling. Freddie Norman's night is done. Dave Collins has emerged from the Reds dugout to pinch hit for the Cincinnati left-hander as Manny Sarmiento begins to loosen up in our bullpen along the right field foul line. Montefusco has held us at bay on but the one hit, a 5th inning single by Danny Driessen. Oh, diminutive Dave Collins will try and get us going as the count delivers. He bunts, but toward the mound. Count bare hands throwing, and he got the out at first base. 1 down. I'll tell you, Montefusco really conserving his pitches. He got the Reds out in the 4th inning on only 4 pitches total. Retires Collins' first pitch bunting, and now goes to work on Rose, who is still looking to extend his hitting streak to 24 ball games. Pete is grounded out to second and grounded back to the mound in 2 tries. He tries to bunt. Did he take the bat away in time? Apparently so. Darrell Evans not happy. They looked down to Eric Gregg, and he said, ball 1. Pete took the bat away on a high and away fastball. Evans a little bit bent out of shape over the fact that the call did not go in favor of his club. Blowing inside, ball 2. That's over for a strike, a fastball. 2-1. Swung on, hit into left center field. Base hit. Pete's done it again. Rose with a single into left center to extend his hitting streak to 24 straight games. 1 away from the longest of his career when he hit in 25 straight in 1967, and 3 away from the club record held jointly by Ed Roush and Veda Pinson. That's the second Reds hit, and here's Ken Griffey. Kenny swings and he misses on a breaking ball in on his hand. Ed Roush hit in 27 straight games twice in his illustrious career, in 1920 and again in 1924. Pinson did it in 1965. Not only is it the longest hitting streak in the National League this season, but in the major leagues. Here's a bunt, third base side, foul. Griffey behind, 2 strikes. As Joe mentioned earlier tonight, Texas catcher Jim Sundberg had the longest hitting streak in the American League at 22 games. Now let's get another man on and let Joe Morgan crank out home run number 200 of his career and turn it around in favor of the Reds and Freddie Norman. Pete edging off the bag against a holding McCovey. Turn, throw to first, Montefusco. Griffey down, 2 strikes. Pitch. Fastball away. That single by Rose allows him to take over leadership in the National League in base hits with 106. Griffey grounds it foul. Kenny gets a hit here. He will have 106 base hits also.
Well, you talk about home runs, and you look at Montefusco. He's given up 15 this year, so it could happen.
Well, right now would be as good a time as any. We need 2 runs to get even. This guy has pitched himself a fine ball game. Griffey went to the on-deck circle, and now he has returned to the plate. Crowd wants some action. You hear him in the background. Griffey swings and pops it in the air into left field. Cruz running in, and he will be there to make the catch and retire Griffey. Two away. Here's Morgan. This reminder, the Reds' third and final tee night of 1978 is set for Friday, August 4th, when the Reds meet the Padres. Young persons through age 19 may purchase $4 reserve seats for only $2. Morgan lined out hard to Andrews his last time up. He's 0 for 2. He swings and pops it up behind the plate. Let's see if there will be a play for Marc Hill. He will not have a chance at it as the ball drops over the screen and back into the crowd. Dodgers are winning big in Houston in the first game of their doubleheader. Strike 1 pitch to Morgan. Quick swing, a curve, low and inside, 1-1. Check swing again, and again a breaking ball too much inside. Drops the count behind, 2 balls a strike. Rose had a 1-out hit to left center. Griffey is slide to left. Foster on deck. Morgan swings, smash, and by the right second baseman Andrews. The ball actually tipped off of his glove. Pete comes to third. Joe goes to second. That'll be a double for Morgan. A hard smash by McCovey that Andrews got the tip end of his glove on, deflecting the ball into foul ground, and that's where Jack Clark picked it up. So, with the tying runs in scoring position, we'll pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
The brights are turned on by Cincinnati Reds Baseball for ball 1.
Oh, a base hit right now of any distance at all, and we've got a brand new game. The 1-0 to the plate. And that's low. 2 balls and no strikes. Montefusco working carefully here to Foster, trying to make him the third out. George trying to burn him and either tie it up or get us out in front with number 19. Rose third, Morgan second. Foster taking his time settling back in as Billy Williams throws the right hand in the air. And George is waiting. The 2-0 to the plate. Ball 3. Here comes Joe Altobelli now to the mound to talk with Montefusco.
Marty, Foster walks, I'm almost sure that you'll see Altobelli returning in a hurry to bring in Gary Lavelle against Dan Driessen. As he left the Giant dugout, he looked down to the bullpen and to tell Lavelle to hurry up and anticipating a walk to Foster. So if George does walk, we'll see Gary Lavelle without a doubt.
Now the meeting continues on the mound as Billy Williams goes out there to break it up. Gives us an opportunity to welcome a fine group of folks here tonight from one of our sponsors, the Frisch's Restaurants, folks. Darlene and Chuck Hathorn, Pat and Chuck Juergens, Blanche and Jack Meyer, Scott Meyer, Karen Meyer, Melanie Schaefer, Ron Schaefer, Don and Mary Jensen, Linda Meyer, and Van Winitsky. Had a chance to visit with those folks before the game, and I'm sure they're having a good time tonight, and we'll have an even better time if we can get a timely base hit right here and get back in it. 3-0 on Foster. Got to feel like they'll turn him loose if this pitch is there.
I'm quite sure they have, and that was probably part of the discussion with Altobelli.
Here it is, and George takes it. Fastball just below the belt for a strike. 3-1 with 2 out and 2 on. Reds down to the Giants, 2-0 in the 6th. Montefusco nodding his head up and down, but not doing anything, and Foster steps out. Now George steps away again. Montefusco, the man who stalls out there, and of course George is not one that is interested in a lot of stalling. More often than not, he's the one doing it. Now the count backs off the pitching rubber. Foster levels the bat, and Montefusco deals a 3-1. High ball 4, and that loads him up. The bases are loaded. And the batter is Danny Driessen. Let's see if Altobelli is going to go down and bring on Lavelle to face the left-handed batter.
For the next few minutes, the audio becomes somewhat degraded, but then clears up substantially.
A double with Pete moving to third, and Foster draws a walk. So Gary Lavelle, who can get him up there right now, is making his way in from the left field bullpen to work to Danny Driessen. As Manny Sanriento goes down to once again loosen up in the Reds bullpen. As for us, we've got a break in the action, and we'll be back to find out what happens in just a moment. Gary Lavelle, a left-hander, one of the main men in that San Francisco bullpen, is now on the Riverfront Stadium mound, and as he loosens up to Marc Hill, Danny Driessen standing in the Cincinnati on-deck circle, watching Lavelle's deliberations. Gary shows a record of 5-7 with a 386 earned run average. He's appeared in 37 games, all in relief. Last night, he chalked up his 10th save of the season in the 9th inning by facing only one batter, and that was Danny Driessen, who he got on a fly ball to center to end the game after Benson hit a 2-run home run off Randy Moffett to draw the Reds to within 1 run. Now, a little less than 24 hours later, Danny is back up there again with a chance to do damage. And this time a whole bunch with Rose at third, Morgan at second, and Foster at first. Charlie Williams picking up in the Giants bullpen where Lavelle left off. Danny's been on twice with a walk and had our first hit leading off the last inning. Okay, Lavelle studies his side. He stretches, he pitches, Driessen swings, and he misses. Strike one. Reds need a base hit to get back in it. That pitch is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, both starting pitchers out of the game. Driessen scores. Here comes Morgan. swinging to the plate. Driessen doubles a line shot high off the wall in right field that just missed by a couple of feet from being a grand slam home run. And the Reds tie it up at 2-2. I'll tell you one thing, he came close to knocking the wall down. That's how hard he hit that ball. Driessen hitting a 1-1 pitch off the fence in right field to drive 2 runs across and get the Reds even. As Foster goes to third and Danny stands out at second, they're going to intentionally walk Johnny Bench. Bench getting the intentional walk.
Artie, you have to give Jack Clark a lot of credit. He played that ball very well off the fence and holding Foster from scoring. And certainly, I thought the ball was out.
So did I.
I really did. I think Danny hit a ball a whole lot harder than that. That looked like Don did his clothesline on Monday.
Well, the bases are loaded for the second time in the inning. Mike Lum has been called back to the dugout, and Kenny Henderson will be coming to the plate to pinch hit. The 2 runs that have scored on Driessen's double charged to Montefusco, and should Foster get in, that also would be charged to the Giants starting pitcher. Now, Kenny Henderson on to bat for Mike Lum. We've got Dave Collins loosening up in our bullpen, so David apparently is going to go in the game after the Reds finish his turn at the plate. Henderson batting at 190 with a homer and 4 runs batted in. Pinch hitting this season off the bench, he's 1 for 11. Laval kicks and fires. Henderson fouls it back. Reds 2, Giants 2. Foster, Driessen, and Bench are the base runners at third, second, and first. 2 men have been retired. The 0-1 to Henderson. Misses outside, 1-1. Kenny, the 8th man to bat in the inning. There have been 3 hits, giving the Reds a total of 4 in the game. That's low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Both Lavelle and Moffitt have been having their respective problems of late. They really got a raking over the coals down in Atlanta. Inside, he almost hit him with that pitch. 3-1. Marc Hill going out to the mound to talk with Lavelle, and he's a pitch away from forcing in the go-ahead run. 3 balls, 1 strike. The meeting breaking up. Well, Gary Lavelle forced to throw strikes in this situation because he has nowhere to put Ken Henderson. Here's a pitch. Strike is called, full count. Took something off the fastball to make doubly sure he'd get it over. So now there will be massive movement on the base paths, and here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on and fouled. Foster turns around and goes back to third. Driessen likewise to second. Bench to first. We'll do it again. Giants got 2 in the second. Driessen has doubled across 2 here in the 6th. Lavelle looking around. Now glances in to pick up the sign. And now steps back off the pitching rubber as Henderson walks away from the plate. Okay, we're ready to go. Runners break, 3-2 pitch. Bouncing ball hit to third. Up with it is Evans, and his throw is in plenty of time to end the inning. To Cincinnati in the 6th, 2 runs on 3 base hits. No errors and 3 left. Then after 6 complete, the Reds 2 and the Giants 2.
The time is right. That feeling's coming through.
We head to the final 3 innings of action, and we start from scratch. A 2-2 ball game as we move to the 7th inning. We've got a new pitcher and also a new center fielder. To tell you who they are and call the 7th, Joe Nuxall.
All right, Marty, the new center fielder is Dave Collins, replacing Mike Lum, and the new pitcher, Manny Sarmiento. Manny making his 34th appearance of the year. He's won 6, lost 4, a 262 earned run average. Manny has worked 78 and 2/3 innings, allowing 49 hits. He has struck out 42 and walked 29. He will be facing Johnnie LeMaster as the Giants bat in the 7th. Of course, Manny yesterday hit on the left bicep by a line drive off the bat of Barry Whitfield. First pitch to LeMaster, high, a ball. Sarmiento delivers. LeMaster takes the strike. It's 1-1. Freddie Norman pitched very well here tonight, really with a break. Could still be in the ball game and leading 2-0. Freddie worked 6 innings, allowed 3 hits, struck out 2, walked 3, and 2 runs, 1 of them earned. LeMaster swings and pops one into center. Collins there waiting on it. He has it 1 away. One down, and Marc Hill the batter. Mark 0 for 1 in a walk. He hit into a force out in the 2nd inning, and Cruz scored, and then LeMaster banging into Morgan down at 2nd caused a bad throw, and the 2nd run scored. Charlie Williams heads to the Giant bullpen to start throwing again. Sarmiento delivers. It's swung on, hit into right center field. Drifting back is Dave Collins there waiting, and he has it quickly 2 away. That'll bring the pitcher Gary Lavelle to the plate. Lavelle has been up 7 times this year. He's had a base hit. Score tied 2-2. Reds have out-hit the Giants 4-3. Sarmiento delivers, and Lavelle swings and misses. Manny back to the plate. That's high as he drops down on Lavelle. 1-1. Outfield around to the right. The 1-1 delivery. Strike 2 call in the outside edge. 1-2. Bob Andrews on deck. Here's the 1-2. That's swung on and foul. Back and out of play. Tom holds to the ball. 2 strikes to Lavelle. Bench hangs the sign for Sarmiento. And again, the 1-2 pitch. Outside. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two delivery. Swung on, fouled off the mask of the plate umpire, Billy Williams. Boston really jumping on Cleveland, 11-0 in the 8th inning, but Buddy Bell hit a 2-run homer, and it wound up 12-5. The Red Sox winning. Check swing foul by Lavelle. Toronto beating Chicago 3-0 in the American League, and Minnesota and Oakland tied up 7-7. They're in extra innings now at Oakland. Again, the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and Manny Sarmiento has his first strikeout, and the Giants out in order here in the 7th. Middle of the 7th, Reds 2, Giants 2.
When it's time for a change, what you'd probably like to have is a change for the better. That's why Marathon came up with new Ultra D motor oil. It is definitely a change for the better. Marathon's new Ultra D motor oil is a change for better gas mileage.
A change for the better.
New Ultra D is a change for improved engine protection.
A change for the better.
New Ultra Alpha D is a change that means faster starts no matter what the temperature. Marathon's new Alpha D motor oil is a special blend, natural and synthetic ingredients. It's really different from conventional blends. Meaning when Alpha D gets together with the engine of your car, things do get better. Make a change for the better with new Alpha D motor oil. New Alpha D motor oil. A change for the better from the people who do it better. Marathon Oil Company. Make a change for the better with new Alpha D. Make a change for the better with new.
Well, the Reds in the 7th inning will send up Dave Collins, Dave Concepcion, and, or I should say Collins, Concepcion, and Manny Sarmiento. Dave went to the plate for Collins hit for Norman. He would be hitting third in the inning. Concepcion will lead it off. Dave Collins was second in the inning. That's correct. Henderson grounding out. Dave Concepcion to lead it off against Gary Lavelle. Dave, both times up, has hit fly balls to Cruz in left field. Waiting on something in center field. Lavelle looking out to center and now turns and he's ready to work to Dave Concepcion. His first pitch on the way, and Dave pushes a bunt, and Lavelle will have it off to the right of the mound, throwing to McCovey, one away. All right, here's Dave Collins. Dave up for the second time. He tried to bunt leading off the 6th inning, hitting for Freddie Norman, was thrown out by Montefusco. Collins hitting .226. Dave has driven in 7 runs and does not have an extra base hit. So let's test his speed. Hit one in the gap. See how quick he can get to third. Lavelle delivers and Collins takes under the knees the ball. The pitch. Swung on, bounced foul off the third base line. Uneven, 1-1. Lavelle to the 1-1 delivery. Collins takes it high. 2-1 the count. Score tied 2-2. That's at bat here in the bottom half of the 7th with 1 out. 2-1 delivery. Swung on, and that's line. It's Andrews, a good play, moving off to his left. He'll pick it off and will pull away. So Rob Andrews robbing Dave Collins of a base hit, moving off to his left at second base. Here's Pete Rose, and Pete in the 6th inning singled to left to extend his hitting streak now to 24 straight. Lavelle delivers and Rose swings and fouls. Out 0-1. 2 out, the base is empty. Pete Knight now in 11th place. The all-time hit list, he has 3,072. Needs 9 more to catch Cap Anson, who is in 10th place. A 1-1. Swung on, bounced off the leg of Lavelle. He picks it up, throws to McCovey, and that's the inning. That ball hitting Gary on the left leg, it looked like, and bounding just to the left of the mound where Lavelle throws Rose out easily. So the Reds out in order in the 7th, nothing across. And after 7 innings, the Reds 2, the Giants 2.
Taking it easy. Never tasted so good. Red Fox.
7-inning totals show the Giants 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. The Reds 2 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. There'll be Rob Andrews leading it off for the Giants in the 8th. And back to the action, Marty Brennan.
Thank you, Joe. Andrews is hitless and 3 times up. Those 3 plate appearances came against Freddie Norman. He's going to be facing Sarmiento for the first time. Rob has grounded a short fly to right and lined out to right field. 10 straight Giant batters have been retired, 7 of them by Norman, and Sarmiento got him out in order in the 7th inning. Here's a pitch to Andrews, and he takes the strike. Some final scores in Minnesota beat Oakland 9-8, Boston over Cleveland 12-5. American League final. Strike 1 pitch. Strike 2 call. And in the first of 2 in Philly, the Phillies knock off Montreal 6-3. Atlanta leading San Diego by a score of 6-4 at the end of 7 full. That's the first of 2. Missing outside, Sarmiento. 1-2 on Andrews. Pittsburgh scoreless in the top of the first at St. Louis. That's Don Robinson against Silvio Martinez. And the Dodgers have built their lead to 6-0 at the end of 5.5 in Houston. 1-2 the count. The pitch. High for a ball. Now, very lucky Sarmiento was that Whitfield's line drive got him on the left arm last night. Boy, you could hear it all the way up here in the radio booth. Just outside, full count. Well, Manny missing with 3 pitches in a row after getting 2 call strikes in on Andrews, waiting on deck to hit Darrell Evans. The payoff. Fly ball off the right field line. Griffey running over along with Driessen, but it's in the seat. Both starting pitchers pitched well. Norman went 6, allowing 3 hits and 2 runs. Only 1 of them earned. Montefusco, 5 2/3 innings, 3 hits and 2 runs. Andrews back in to await the payoff pitch, and he walked him. Giants get their lead man on in the 8th inning for Darrell Evans. First base runner for the Giants since Marc Hill drew a walk in the 4th. 0 for 3 night for Evans, and that's going to get Dave Tomlin up and throwing quickly in the Cincinnati bullpen. Sarmiento had it all going for him with an 0-2 count against Andrews, and he ended up walking him. Throws halfway looking for a bunt as he creeps in at third base. Evans squares and drops it down, but foul off the right side of the plate. Now Dave Bristol going through the third base coach's ritual of flashing a sign, and quite a lengthy one it was for the benefit of Mr. Evans. We're tied at 2 runs apiece in the 8th. Andrews has walked to start it off for San Francisco. Sarmiento stretches, pauses, and pitches. Evans swings away and fouls it off. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. That's the way this series has been played and how close it's been played. 2 one-run games last night. The possibility of another one tonight. And the tightness of the race involving these 3 clubs, the Reds, the Giants, and the Dodgers. The rest of the way it is going to be something else. 1 ball, 2 strikes. When you think about it and project the 3-team race into the month of September and look at that Cincinnati schedule, boy, I'll tell you, every day is going to be monumental to the nth degree. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Evans. Here's a pitch. Swung on, fly ball left field. Foster toward the foul line, reaches up, makes the catch. We'll pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
Cincinnati Reds baseball is yours on Zebra 100, WRMZ, Columbus, Ohio, the home of the Reds for Central Ohio.
Jack Clark is in with one down, Evans having been retired on the fly to left field, and Jack is 0 for 3. 3 ground balls to the left side of the infield, twice to Rose, once to Concepcion. Manny delivers, and Clark takes it below the knees. That September schedule will have us in San Francisco on the 9th and 10th, a Saturday and Sunday. Or they'll be in here on the 9th and 10th, a Saturday and Sunday. We'll be out there on the 15th, 16th, and 17th, a weekend series. Swung on, line drive, base hit left field. Here comes Andrews to second. He takes a turn. He'll stop as Jackie Clark extends his hitting streak to 11 games in a row. And as far as the Giants are concerned, he could not have come up with that base hit at a better time. Willie McCovey and Sparky Anderson coming to the mound, and he will probably bring Dave Tomlin on to face Stretch. Then we'll be in L.A. on the 18th, 19th, and 20th of September. But then you think about the final week. We've got the Dodgers in on the 26th, the 27th, and the 28th. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night games before closing out regular season play against the Atlanta Braves on the 29th and 30th, and then the 1st of October, the final day of the season. It's going to be very interesting. Right now, Tomlin on in relief of Manny Sarmiento, and we'll be back with more here in the 8th inning in just a moment.
I've got grease on my fingers, oil on my shoes, I'm always under the hood. But I wouldn't change places with anyone else, even if I could. I worked on every car, big and small, every kind of engine too. And there's one thing that applies to them all, whether they're old or new. You can't buy their blood for any kind of car than champion. You can't buy their blood no matter where you are than champion. Champions number one in the world, they're number one in your car. Some folks don't mind working in a big place, being part of a team. I prefer just me and that engine, nobody in between. You can't buy better blood for any kind of car than champion. You can't buy better blood no matter where you are than champion. Champions number one in the world, they're number one in your car. No, you can't buy better blood for any kind of car than champion. You can't buy better blood no matter where you are than champion.
Third pitcher of the night to toil for the Cincinnati Reds, and it's left-hander Dave Tomlin in a pressure cooker 8th inning situation. The Giants threatening and trying to break the 2-2 deadlock with Andrews at second, Clark at first, and Willie McCovey will be the batter. Sparky going with the percentages, bringing on the left-hander to face McCovey as Pedro Bourbon starts to get ready. Attendance tonight, 43,316, 43,316. Coming on the heels of a crowd of 51,163 last night, which, by the way, is the largest crowd to see the Reds at Riverfront this season, with the exception of opening day. So the Giants most definitely have become a drawing card around National League parks in 1978. Tomlin ready. McCovey without a hit in 3 trips. He struck out in the 6th inning. Tomlin pitches, and McCovey takes a fastball inside. Morgan playing about midway between first and second. Driessen shading the line deep at first. Here's a foul back by McCovey. David pulled radically towards second base from his shortstop spot, and Rose well off the line at third, and the outfield much the same, shifted around toward right and deep. 1-1 to count on the pitch. Swung on, bouncing ball, base hit, right field. Here comes Andrews around third. Here comes a bluff throw by Griffey, and now Kenny throws on to second as Clark moves to third, and McCovey with a single to send the Giants out in front 3-2. He didn't have a whole lot of room to shoot at, but he found the hole as McCovey drives in the go-ahead run, and Clark moves to third. Here's Hector Cruz with a walk and a single and a fly out to center tonight. That's the 51st RBI for McCovey. Well, we need a double play ball here in the worst sort of way. Cruz swings and chops it foul at the plate. We've talked about it so many times in the past that base on balls can flat out kill you. Bob Andrews worked a walk from Sarmiento, and he has come in to score the go-ahead run for the Giants. Tomlin to the rosin bag. Giants show runners on the corners, one out. Cruz takes a strike, and he's behind 0-2. Now the two-strike pitch bounces in foul into the Giant dugout. Count holding at 2 strikes on Cruz. Bourbon continuing to throw. Just missing inside a breaking pitch. And boy, I'll tell you, Cruz, I don't think would have argued too much if that pitch had been called a strike. He was jumping up and down and turning to Billy Williams to see how he was going to call it. Tomlin nods ahead on the sign hung by Johnny Bench. Checks McCovey at first. Pitches. Line drive. Base hit by Rose. Down the left field line. Here's Clark in to score. Coming to third base is McCovey. On to second goes Cruz. And Dave Tomlin not able to get the job done. He's faced 2 batters and has given up 2 base hits. As San Francisco leads now 4-2. Marky Anderson coming back to the mound. He'll bring on Bourbon to face Larry Herndon. Those 2 runs charged to Manny Sarmiento, who now becomes a pitcher of record for Cincinnati. And Willie McCovey is being taken down at third base. And we'll be getting a runner in for the Giants at that bag. Dick Harris will be the runner at third base for McCovey. Bourbon just now reaching the mound as he comes on in relief of Tomlin. Dave faces 2 batters. He gives up a run-scoring single to McCovey, a run-scoring double to Cruz. And Bourbon will now try to keep him off the boards, but the Giants have to be thinking about a big 8 because there has been but 1 man retired, and they've got him at second and third. Larry Herndon has had 2 of the Giants' 6 hits. Both singles, a run scored, he's bounced out to third base. This for Pedro Bourbon is going to be his 34th appearance of the year. He's won 5 and lost 1 with a .450 earned run average. It looks like Herndon is going to be called back, and Joe Altobelli will be sending up a left-handed batter, Terry Whitfield, to pinch hit. Pedro to the bill of his cap, getting things together on the mound as Whitfield will pinch hit for Larry Herndon. Terry hitting at .303 with 5 homers and 19 RBIs. They're going to intentionally walk him with first base open. And Johnnie LeMaster is scheduled to bat. He's going to be called back, and it'll be Mike Ivy who will come to the plate. And the wheels are really turning here in the 8th inning as the Giants have scored twice to take a 2-run lead. So Mike Ivy, and all he has done this season as a pinch hitter is slam 2 pinch hit home runs. Hit one on the 28th of May, and also got one on the 30th of June. Last night we saw Ivy called out on strikes with the bases loaded. Facing Doug Bear in the 7th inning, he really jumped up and down against Eric Gregg, and as a result was thrown out of the game for the first time in his big league career. He now takes the first pitch from Bourbon for a strike. Mike was really comical in relating the incident down in the Giant clubhouse earlier tonight, because he said being the first time he's ever been thrown out, when he got the heave-ho, he asked himself, what do I do now? He said, I've never been here before. I've never been thrown out of a game. Swung on and grounded to third. Rose steps on third. He throws to first. Double play. Pete had to climb the ladder to pick off Ivy's high chop. He stepped on third to force Cruz and fired on to Driessen to double up Ivy. But the Giants get 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors and 2 left. And after 7.5, San Francisco 4 and Cincinnati 2. Well, for the second time tonight, the Reds look at a 2-run deficit, and time is running out. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be Ken Griffey, Joe Morgan, George Foster for the Reds, and we've got some changes for the San Francisco Giants, as you might expect. Mike Ivy, who hit into the inning-ending double play, remains in the game to play first base. Roger Metzger is at shortstop, and the new center fielder is Terry Whitfield. Gary Lavelle ripped for, at the time, a game-tying 2-run double in the 6th inning from Danny Driessen. Now stands to be the winning pitcher in this game with 6 outs to go. Rick Auerbach now starts to play catch with bullpen catcher Gary Waite as Hill goes out to the mound to talk with Gary Lavelle. Randy Moffett leisurely throwing in the Giant bullpen. In the 8th inning, LA 7, Houston 1. In the 7th, Atlanta leads San Diego 6-4. And the finals we gave to you earlier, New York 7-0 over the Cubs, Philadelphia 6-3, first game a win over Montreal. Pitch to Ken Griffey as low ball 1. Well, we came back once tonight. We can do it again. 2 runs away. This one a big inning. There's a call strike. Kenny's 0 for 3. And outside with the 1-1 pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. Swung on and fouled off, and that'll be well back into the seats off third base. Giants are now out hit at 6-4. with 3 of Cincinnati's hits coming in the 2-run 6. Up high and outside. Full count. Hill sends out the sign. Lavelle sends in the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with some smoke. That's the first strikeout for Lavelle. Here's Joe Morgan. Had a double and scored a run in the 6th inning. Takes a pitch high for ball 1. Checks his swing, ball 2, 2-0. George Foster on deck. That's a strike call. Morgan waiting as Lavelle deals, and ball 3 is upstairs. Gary wanted that pitch. Just stood there with his legs spread after following through with a pitch to the plate. And Billy Williams called it a ball, so he's on a 3-ball count to the first 2 hitters in the inning, and he popped Morgan up on the 3-1. In foul ground, Mike Ivy, and the first baseman squeezes it for 2nd out of the inning. Well, Gary Lavelle, waiting through Ken Griffey and Joe Morgan, will deal now with George Foster. The fly to deep right center, popped up to the catcher, and has drawn a base on balls. Call this game a game of inches. It's been a game of feet tonight for Cincinnati. Ball to him. Just a matter of 1 or 2 feet that separated Danny Driessen from a grand slam home run and the 2-run double that he struck. Call strike. Danny's on deck. Foster fouls it away, and Lavelle is out in front, 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the Reds go out in order in the 8th inning. 3 up, 3 down, and after 8 complete, the Giants lead the Reds 4-2.
Some people wonder why spend money on replacement windows when they already have good windows in their home. Well, maybe some of these new Sash custom abunders will help you understand why. Dear Mr. Johnson, I wondered about spending money on new Sash windows, but my reservations are now gone. My wife thinks they're beautiful and very easy to clean. But the amazing thing is that we keep the thermostat on 65 degrees all winter long, and our furnace only comes on 4 or 5 times a day instead of 10 or 15 times as in the past. Thank you. Our new Sash windows are paying for themselves. If fuel savings are important to you this winter, give Bill Johnson a call at 267-8396. New Sash is the only window with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. And New Sash replacement windows are custom made for a perfect fit. Call Bill Johnson at 267-8396 and let him show you how to save up to 30% or more in heating costs. That 24-hour number again, 267-8396. Always ask for the original New Sash.
Well, we enter the 9th inning with a score of 4-2. San Francisco. Pedro Borbon coming on to throw up a double play ball to Mike Ivy in the last inning after intentionally walking Terry Whitfield. Will be facing Marc Hill, Gary Lavelle, and Rob Andrews. San Francisco trying to take 2 out of the first 3 games played, and if they win this one, they'll move 4 games out in front of the Reds with a wrap-up to the series coming tomorrow. On the other side of the coin, and that which we hope will come about, a 9th inning for the Reds that would turn this one into a victory would move Cincinnati to within 2 games of the top. With the Dodgers knowing they cannot lose in terms of the standings if they win. They're either going to gain on San Francisco or gain on Cincinnati, whatever the case might be, depending upon who wins and who loses here. Line drive. Morgan cannot get it. It goes into center field, and Hill has the 7th San Francisco hit. Gary Lavelle, who struck out in the 7th inning. Dave Concepcion had gone into the mound to talk with Pedro. Now Lavelle squares to bunt and does first base side. Driessen will go to second and got the fourth play. Lavelle bunted it hard. Danny came up throwing to David to force Hill, and now we go back to the top of the order for Rob Andrews. Cincinnati 9th inning will be sending up Driessen bench. And then the pitcher scheduled to bat. Here's Andrews, and he takes a strike. Up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. 2:15 will close out play prior to the 3-day All-Star break as Paul Motzko goes against Ed Halicki. Swung on and hit into right field, driving Griffey back. Kenny now waiting. 2 out. Darrell Evans will be the Giant batter. Freddie Norman and John Montefusco were the starting pitchers in this game. The way it stands now, Lavelle would win it, and Sarmiento would be the losing pitcher. Evans without a hit and 4 times up. He takes the pitch outside. Runner at first with 2 out. There's ball 2, 2-0. Bone kicks and throws. Evans swings and pops it foul. Johnny Bench racing over, and he'll not have a play. Right down at the near end of the Giants' dugout, the ball goes about 2, maybe 3 rows back up into the seat. Evans settling back in. Well, in the 9th inning, the Giants own a 4-2 lead. Bone, the 4th Cincinnati pitcher to work in this game, following Norman, Sarmiento, and Tomlin. Ball 3, 3-1. Evans swings and misses at a high fastball, and that runs the count full. Well, Danny Driessen will now back up to play a deep first base, giving Lavelle free rein to take off when the payoff pitch comes to Evans, and here it is. Ground ball to Morgan. Joe throwing to first to retire the Giants in the 9th. No runs, 1 hit. 1 man left on. We need 2 or more. The end of 8 1/2. The Giants 4 and the Reds 2.
The big red machine is rolling down the street with big red smoke in the big leaf tree.
We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. Doug Bear heads down to begin loosening up in the Reds bullpen as Danny Driessen and Johnny Bench stand in the Cincinnati on-deck circle. Gary Lavelle, he came into the game in the 6th inning after George Foster had drawn a walk to load the bases. Danny Driessen greeted him with a double high off the wall in right field to score 2 and tie it up. And then after issuing an intentional walk to Johnny Bench, he got pinch hitter Kenny Henderson on a ground out to third to end the inning, and that was the first of 7 consecutive batters that Lavelle has retired. So he'll be working to Driessen, the man who burned him 3 innings ago. Bench will follow, and then we'll have a pinch hitter for Bourbon. Randy Moffett staying ready for the Giants in their bullpen. Throw goes down to second base and around the infield. Driessen 2 for 2 with a walk. He has now knocked in 45 runs this season with that 2-run double in the 6th inning. Okay, Lavelle looking and pitching to Driessen. Strike is called. Gary not fooling around. He comes right in with that number 1 and gets the strike over at the letters. Strike 2 is called. Driessen getting in a hole right now as Gary with a big kick pitches and struck him out swinging. That's his 3rd strikeout. He stands 3 of the last 4 batters to face him. And he'll go to work on Johnny Bench. John is struck out, popped to short, drawn an intentional walk. Ray Knight is on deck to hit for Bourbon. Bench swings and misses. Well, Lavelle has thrown 4 pitches in the 9th inning, and all 4 have been strikes. Swung on, popped up, but out of play. Behind the Reds dugout. No balls and 2 strikes. This one fouled straight back and over the screen. Reds have had only 4 hits on the night. Bench strikes out swinging. That's 6 pitches, the 7 pitches for Lavelle, and 2 strikeouts. And now it's up to Ray Knight to try and keep us alive as he will come off the bench to hit for the pitcher. Ray Knight with a batting average of 156, a home run, 3 RBIs. Knight will try to get on and keep it alive for Dave Concepcion. Ray takes the pitch outside, a fastball. A 2-run 8th inning broke the tie for the San Francisco Giants, and now they are 1 out away from a win. That's low, 2 balls. No strikes to Ray Knight. Call strike. In at the knees, 2-1. Both bullpens remain busy. Bear for the Reds, Moffitt for the Giants. Inside. Almost got him with that one. 3-1. Ray standing back in, and here comes Lavelle. Ball 4. He walked him. We'll pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
Cincinnati Reds baseball is...
The 2-out walk to Ray Knight makes Davey Concepcion the tying run. Davey is 0 for 3, was thrown out trying to bunt his way aboard when he led off the 7th inning. Well, Lavelle again turns his back to home plate as he stares out towards center field. Here's Davey, and here's the pitch. Swing and a foul. Strike 1. Ray Knight leading as Lavelle delivers, and David fouls this one back, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Lavelle striking out both Danny Driessen and Johnny Bench before walking pinch hitter Knight. And throws a 2-strike pitch to Davis. That's up and away for a ball. Dave Collins would be up next if Davey can keep it going. Here's a foul out of play. Concepcion hanging in there. As the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Okay, the left-hander with a come down to the belt. He pitches. And this is bounced by the mound, but fielded by Andrews, and he goes to the bag for the game-ending 4th out on Ray Knight. Cincinnati's Knight, no runs, no hits, 1 left. The final score in game number 3 of this series, the Giants 4 and the Reds 2. And we'll be back in just a moment.